Alright, hey, what is up guys? Spanky here. Today we're going to be doing a quick, as quick as I can, update to how to properly install an Nvidia graphics driver. I've had a lot of questions on my last video, trying to get through the comments, trying to help out. But today I'm gonna make a version 2. Nvidia has released a new driver which comes with some more performance in Division, which is a game I play a lot, and fixes some Apex Legend crashes, which is another game I play a lot. So today we're gonna go through how to properly uninstall your old graphics driver, how to install the new one, and what some other tweaks we can do for maximum performance. Now this is for performance, not visual fidelity. We are going to crunch as much performance as we can. I recommend booting up your favorite game right now and doing a benchmark and seeing what you're hitting before the fix, and then run the benchmark after to see what you hit after the fix. We're just gonna go through it. Before we start anything, there's a couple things you're gonna need before we start and go ahead and go through that process of installing your graphics driver. You need a couple programs. One program is the MSI utility. Links are gonna be in the description. This will put our graphics card in MSI mode. It's really good performance. We have Nvidia Profile Inspector. This will help us adjust like a couple more settings, just making sure like Ansel's disabled, disabling in P2 state. DDU, very important program. This will help us get rid of our old graphics driver completely. And then last but not least, we need the Nvidia graphics driver. So I'm on a 2080 Ti, so all you have to do is literally just type in Nvidia, right? You just type in Nvidia and then just click on download drivers. You just need to find out where you get your drivers from. Now you can either do it from geforce.com or nvidia.com, it doesn't really matter. But just go through this list. I don't recommend using the automatic. We don't like GeForce experience. I personally don't. It hinders performance. If you want Shadowplay, go ahead and do everything I do here first, and then go download GeForce Experience and get Shadowplay. I know it sounds like a pain, but GeForce Experience is a pain in the ass. Now, then again, I can't find another recording software like Shadowplay that doesn't hinder performance as much as everything else. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm on a 2080 Ti, so we don't want notebook. We want 20 series, 2080 Ti, Windows 10, English, all. Wouldn't really recommend fucking with any of these. Just leave it at all. All right, GeForce Game Ready driver. This one just came out. If we click on it, you can see what it says. Provides optimal support for Apex Legends Season 4, the Division 2 Warlords of New York expansion, and Arc Genesis Part 1. We're going to go ahead and download this, and then we will get our driver installer. Now, you would probably want to go ahead and download all of these as well and extract them and just put them in like a folder that you know. So like for me, I have a folder called utility right here, and I just put all of those programs in there. Everything that I use to boost performance, I pretty much have in here. There's some like disabling services. Most of this information is from Freethy. Go give him, I'm gonna link his YouTube in the description. He does a great job of explaining why and how we do all these things. I'm just going to tell you what to do as quickly as possible. So now that we have our driver, we are going to go ahead and take that. Should be like a .exe like this, and we're going to extract it. It's that simple. So I went ahead and pulled the 442.50 graphics driver .exe installer. I guess we can call it a package launcher. That's what they describe it as. And what we are going to do is I use 7-zip. 7-zip will also be linked in the description. We are going to extract it to a folder onto the desktop as well. All right, now that we have this extracted, now we're going to go ahead and debloat this. So for the newer drivers, the main problem with debloating it and killing your internet and restarting is that you won't get control panel. Now I know a lot of people say that like that hinders performance. I don't mind it. I just adjust my NVIDIA control panel settings after I re-enable my internet. I haven't noticed a performance issue or a latency issue currently. If you guys have go ahead and leave something in the comments, and I'm sure we can work something out. But yeah, just for some reason, if you use like 441.41, which was considered the god of video driver in my opinion, you would get a video control panel even with your internet off. But now for some reason they like to get it through the Microsoft Store. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But anyway, let's go ahead and debloat this. All you need is your display driver, NV12, and GFE experience or GF experience, and then the EULA, the list of devices, the setup.cfg, and the setup.exe. So we're going to go ahead and delete everything we don't need. So update core all the way to NVPCF. We're going to delete that. Then NV container all the way up to GFE experience, NV stream service. I'm going to delete that. And then display update all the way up to NView. We are going to delete that. So we only need this in our folder. Now, before we do anything, we need to reboot in the safe mode as well as have our internet disabled. Now, if you don't want to disable your internet, you could disable your updates through services. I'm not gonna do that because it's a pain in the ass, and I know a lot of people don't like to mess with those. So I would recommend it, but it is what it is. So it's as simple as just disabling your internet right here. I'm hooked up through Ethernet. If you're hooked up through Wi-Fi, you're going to want to disable your Wi-Fi. Basically, you don't have any internet connection to your PC at all. You don't want any of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here, open network and internet settings, change adapter options, and I'm just going to disable my internet. And my Wi-Fi card's already disabled on my motherboard. Therefore, I have no internet connection whatsoever. So now we're just going to reboot in the safe mode, and then we are going to download not download. We're going to uninstall our graphics driver and then reinstall this deep loaded version. So by doing that, to get into safe mode, we're just gonna hit the Windows key and R, and this will bring up a run command, and then we are just gonna type in msconfig. Click OK, and we're gonna go to boot, and we're just gonna click safe boot, and we're gonna click apply. So next time we boot up, we're gonna boot into safe mode. Now for me, when I reboot back into safe mode, I'm going to have to disable safe boot again, which is fine because we don't want to boot up into safe mode every time. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to reboot and I will be back. All right, so I went ahead and lost my microphone recording for this recording. So basically now that we're back and booted into Windows, we have safe mode enabled. So we're going to need to go ahead and disable safe mode. You may not have to uncheck this box like I'm about to, but yeah, we need to make sure that safe mode is not on again. So we're just going to pull up the run command again. So you just got to hit the Windows and R key, just like this, and then you're going to type in msconfig, and I can't spell apparently, and we're just going to boot and then uncheck safe boot, click apply, and then we should be good. The next time we boot up our PC, we won't be in safe mode. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and boot up DDU to uninstall our current graphics driver and get rid of all like the GeForce Experience, the PhysX BS. It's really easy. Links in the description for DDU. Just go ahead and boot up DDU in safe mode with your internet disabled, and you're just gonna go over to select device type, and then it's gonna say GPU or whatever. So you're gonna select GPU, and then if you have a video card, boom, you select Nvidia, and you're just gonna click clean and restart. Now my PC is gonna reboot once I do this automatically. So I'm going to have to stop the recording, but when you click clean and restart, your PC will automatically reboot, and you should want to make sure you're not in safe mode again. And yeah, you'll see all these hint strings of like what it'll show you what it's doing, and then your PC will automatically reboot. So I will be back once that's done. All right, we are back with our internet still disabled. Um, DDU has successfully uninstalled every bit of Nvidia driver, BS, GeForce Experience, all of it off the PC. We're on complete bare stock built-in graphics card driver. There is literally nothing here. I can't even make my refresh rate back to 240. It looks terrible, but whatever. Now we're gonna do a clean install. So we're gonna take our debloated graphics driver, which is right here. This is the new one, and we are going to just click the setup.exe after we debloated it and everything. This is the only things that you need in here. So I'm just gonna click setup.exe. It's gonna take a little bit to check for system compatibility. All right, so now you can select NVIDIA graphics driver, GeForce Experience, or NVIDIA graphics driver. I always go just graphics driver, and if I want Shadowplay, I go grab it later. So for now, I'm just gonna hit NVIDIA graphics driver, agree and continue, custom, so that we can select perform a clean installation, click next, and then we're gonna select perform a clean installation. So all your default values for your control panel, NVIDIA profile inspector, they're all gonna be at default again. Which I prefer to do. I prefer to manually redo everything just so I'm not overlapping info. I just want to have a clean, fresh startup every time I do a driver install. I'm just going to click next and we're going to let this install. Your screen might flash black a couple times. It's normal. Don't panic. I've gotten a lot of comments like, oh, my screen's flashing, I'm scared. It's fine. Your driver tells your GPU what to do and what to display. It's very important that it gets installed properly. So it's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. Your PC is not going to blow up. Everything is fine. Okay, so yay, after I installed the graphics driver, I kind of went through some of the settings and realized after checking that it was a complete black screen. So I'm going to go through some of these again. After your graphics driver is installed, you can go ahead and enable your internet because there's nothing going to be downloading in the background anymore. So go ahead and enable your internet just how we did it before. You just go to open network settings, change adaptive properties, right click and click enable. And then NVIDIA control panel should download in the background, but we're not going to get to that yet. We're going to go ahead and put our GPU into MSI mode and allocate CPU cores and a thread to our GPU. So just go to MSI utility, wherever you downloaded and extracted it to. We need this utility and we need to run it as admin. So click run as administrator. And then you're going to find your GPU. You're going to click MSI and then you're going to change it to high in the interrupt priority and then click apply. Close out. We're done with that. And then now we are going to go to interrupt affinity policy tool. We're going to run that as admin as well. And this is where it gets different per system basis. So for me, I already have it set to where I want because I kind of already went through it and the recording got messed up. So if you're on an 8-core with hyper-threading, it's typically recommended that you put it to core 7 and threaded 7. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5. Fuck, I'm stupid. Put it to core 5 and then thread 5. If you're on a quad core with hyper threading, it's probably recommended to put it on the 3rd core and 3rd thread. So this is a core, this is a thread. So we want to, this is 1, 2, 3. So if you're on a quad core, probably CPU 4 and thread 5. That's typically, if you have any specific questions about what you should do for your CPU, just leave it in the comment and I'll probably tell you which one to use. I'll have to do a little bit more research. But for me, I'm 8-core with hyper-threading. I'm going to use core 5 and thread 5. That's good for me. Now it's going to ask you to restart. You can go ahead and restart now if you want, but we're not done making some changes, so you might as well wait. Now that you've done those, in the background, Windows probably installed your NVIDIA control panel. So as soon as I open this up, I'm gonna have to agree to some terms probably. Here we go, software license agreement. We're gonna click agree and continue. And now we can adjust some of our settings. So first we go to desktop, enable developer settings, and we have this new box here that we can make some adjustments to. But the first thing I'm gonna do is adjust image settings with preview. I'm just gonna slide this over to performance to save some time. When we adjust our manage 3D settings, it's just gonna go back to this check marker anyway. So manage 3D settings. I don't use image sharpening. I know a lot of people swear by it. It's just another performance hit. I just use my monitor sharpening and in-game sharpening if it supports it. So I don't use this currently. I've tested it. It's pretty good. There is a performance hit. You can mess around with it. I turn off gamma correction. I set that to off. I scroll down. Low latency mode. This is very important. I see a lot of people using this incorrectly, and it's insane. You never want it to be on ultra unless you're on a GPU bound game. So if you're playing, I don't know, what's the most graphically demanding game that I can think of off the top of my head that's new. If you're playing, I don't know, Witcher 3 with fucking hella mod packs and I don't know, at 4K, go ahead and select this to ultra. But if you care about input latency and performance and you're playing low settings, high frames to the point where you're more CPU bound, you want this to be on. This sets your rendered frames to 1. This is really important. You want on, not ultra. Max frame rate, you can mess with this. I personally use RTSS if I've ever needed to use that. You always want to use an in-game frame rate limiter first. That will minimize the input lag that it gives. RTSS is known to be good, but it does cause input lag. So I would recommend staying away from this. Benchmarks have shown that this is worse to use than like Rivatune, a statistics server. So I recommend just leaving this off and trying to limit your in-game frame rate in-game or with RTSS. Power management mode, of course, you want to set this to prefer maximum performance. You want all that performance. Application control refresh rate. If you have a G-Sync monitor, you might want to select this to fixed refresh. I have a G-Sync compatible monitor, but I don't really use it like that. I just select this the highest available. Other thing is texture filtering quality. We're going to set that to performance. And then I just go ahead and turn on threaded optimization from auto to on. And that's pretty much it for here. Just gonna click apply. And that is everything in control panel for max performance. If you want to pause the video, look through and make sure you have everything like this, that's fine. Next, we're going to go to adjust desktop color settings. I use the Nvidia settings. They're fine. Sorry to frog in my throat. I use the Nvidia settings here. They're fine. You can adjust your digital vibrance a little bit. They make your games look a little bit more punchy. We're just gonna click apply there. The next thing is adjust desktop size and position. Now, if you play stretch, you're gonna want to select this to full screen and make sure you perform the scaling on the display, not the GPU. If you use GPU, it uses performance. A lot of it too. So if you play stretch, just make sure you click on display. If you don't play stretch, just leave it on no scaling. If you're always playing at your monitor's native refresh rate, this will give you the best performance all around. All right, so next we're gonna go to manage GPU performance counters, and we're gonna check allow access to GPU performance counters to all users. Remember, we enabled this through the desktop tab here and checking enable developer settings. I don't know if this is going to corrupt the recording because I know when I apply this, it changes everything black. So, all right, so my Streamlabs did crash from enabling that. So yeah, just make sure you have allow access to GPU performance counters to all users. And we have 2 more settings in here that we're going to adjust. We're going to click on with the Nvidia settings. Now you can mess with these if you want. I personally just go to advanced and change it to full dynamic range and click apply. And then last but not least, we go to adjust video image settings. I check use Nvidia setting. use Nvidia setting, and uncheck deinterlacing. And you can recheck this if you have a problem with like YouTube video playback, etc. But I just normally leave it off. I don't really have a problem, but I know some people have. So click apply, and we are done in the Nvidia control panel. Everyone says it's a pain in the ass and it's very hard to understand, but it's not that bad. I'm just gonna close this out. Now the last thing we can do is go into Nvidia Profile Inspector, and we can tweak a couple more settings. Now I know this looks intense, but all this is a more detailed version of the Nvidia control panel. It has a lot of hidden settings that you can't really adjust. There's only really 3 things we're gonna look at here. We're gonna scroll down to common right here, and the only thing we care about is Ansel. We want that off. We do not like Ansel. I personally don't like it. I don't use it. I hate seeing the pop-up every time I boot up a game. So I disable Ansel. And then CUDA Force P2 state. From some YouTube videos I've seen, all this is it's like a VRAM limiter when you use OBS or anything to stream or record with, I believe. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. We don't want to limit anything. And then last but not least is probably the multi-display mixed GPU acceleration. If you are on a single display, even if you're on multi-display, I recommend using single display performance mode. If you are streaming with a multi-monitor setup, like if you have OBS on your second monitor or a chat, for some reason, or even recording, even locally recording, if you use OBS and you have something on your other monitor, for some reason, it messes with your main monitor's refresh rate. Even playing exclusive full screen on your game, for some reason, let's say you have like a Twitch video or like a Twitch stream playing on your second monitor, and you're playing Apex Legends on your main display. That's at like 144 hertz, and your other monitor is at 60. For some reason, Windows is messing up right now, and your game is going to feel terrible. That's why a lot of people can't aim when they're streaming for some reason, because the refresh rate is conflicted and it's just not working. So either to get around this, you either need to have 2 or 3 monitors at the same refresh rates, or B, you literally only play with one monitor. That's what I've been doing currently. I'm waiting. There is a fix coming out in a Windows update in the future. I can't wait to test it, see how it is. But for now, I leave pretty much everything on single display performance mode. And when I stream or record, I just only have one monitor on. You can enable or disable your monitors by literally just hitting the Windows key and P, and you'll get this pop up. Now I have my other monitor plugged in. I just have it to only use my my one monitor right now. So yeah, that's it. We're just gonna click apply top right, and then X out. Now, and that is all of it. That's all we have to do. Now, once this is all done, you can go ahead and restart your PC just to be safe. You can boot up your game and run a benchmark and see the performance difference. If it's helped, great. If not, maybe you messed up somewhere, or maybe you just had a better driver suited for that game. Go ahead and leave a comment down in the description if you need any help, any questions, suggestions for the future. I really appreciate the support and the view of this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. I don't know what we're going to do in the future. Sometimes I upload gameplays, sometimes I'm getting more tech savvy and I like doing these tutorials and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Later.